Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian as a Weirdo, I guess. Um, oh my gosh, there's so much anxiety just to set this up, so I'm hoping this doesn't just blow up in my face. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's the millions of people that are going to come on here and tell me how bad my lighting and camera are. And that just is what it is, I guess, but does get a little annoying when it happens so frequently. So I'm just doing my best here. But yeah, so today I'm going to work on painting this drawing that I put together. And we're just going to see how it goes. I don't really know what I'm expecting to come out of this one, but hopefully it's cool. So there's this little sponge in the watercolor kit that I have, and I've not used it, but it seems like a good way to spread water, like a little bit of water, all across the. There's so much fucking cat hair everywhere. It just is really sticking to the sponge. But seems like a good idea. It's definitely moving my pencil around a little bit, but I don't care too much about that. Just trying to get it mostly around the. And then I also didn't use this like water brush, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I know it seems like I don't prepare for these, but I promise for this one I actually did try. And I just had to make as much noise as possible while doing this. So for the leaf background, I really wanted to kind of have a lot of, I guess, just interest in making the leaves look, I don't know, interesting. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But so I've been watching some painting. I've been watching more painting videos, I should say. And one of the things was talking about how using the opposite color on the color wheel to create shadows and to create or to kind of change the color a little bit and how that can look. So because we're doing a predominantly like orange, red type of, I'm going to be doing that for the leaves. I'm going in with a blue, a dark blue, and I'm having it be fairly thin because I don't want a ton of color from it. And I'm just going and putting a wash of that everywhere that I'm putting the leaves. Take some water, just use that to spread that around. I hope everyone's having a good day or night or whatever it is, wherever you are. It has been quite rainy here in LA, and so naturally people are like freaking out. They're like, what is this? What is this wet stuff falling from the sky? It's very abnormal. We've had quite a few days in a row of it being rainy here, so nice good rain. I love it. I love the rainy days and just staying in and not doing much, and or watching a show or movie, getting all snuggly and warm. Okay, so now I have my blue, so I want that to dry down. So, hey Rachel, welcome in. I know this angle and lighting is pretty different. If you hate it, just keep that to yourself. So I decided to draw, I don't really know where this idea came up in my head. Um, but I was like, I've never drawn like an anatomical heart before, which feels like some kind of weird like rite of passage. Um, and so I drew that, and I wanted to figure out something to put in the background. Um, and I don't know, I was feeling kind of emo yesterday and kind of in my feels. So I was like, I don't know, fall leaves, sure. So I drew a bunch of leaves in the background. And so in the videos I've been watching about like do how to like paint a little bit better. One of the things was about putting complementary colors together to create shadows and dimension rather than relying totally on, like if you wanted to do like, a shadow for something, and instead of doing like black or brown, trying something in the complementary color family might give it a more interesting look. So that's where we're going. No, it makes, I don't know. I don't know why I picked it, to be honest. So, yeah, no idea. No idea. So now I'm going to take my wet sponge, rewet it just a teeny bit. And I'm going to go Okay, so thinking about this one and how I want to try to make it work, I think I'm going to go into this blue first. And it's kind of purpley, isn't it? I guess that works. I'm just going to be kind of thinking about dimension. You got to notice? Yay, Chris. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's really slow on Restream. I see what you all are talking about because I'm watching it. Can't watch it on my phone, which is my camera. Um, so I'm watching it. I have my laptop up in front of me. So if I'm super slow at getting the comments, and that's what the setup is here. Um, but yeah, it's so much faster uh, on YouTube. So I don't paint a whole lot, and I don't. I would really like to get better, but it's just the setup and everything of it is it just takes a lot longer than I would like my crafts to take. I could just be like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do this. It's like no, it's this whole production. And then coming out of the heart, we have two things that are blue, one that's red, and then these other parts right here, which I'm gonna change. But I'm going to, and I don't know the names of the. Well, I know names of the parts of the heart. I just don't know which part is which. So I'm just gonna be like this one. How they get business with the delay being so bad. Honestly, I mean, it's not consistently that bad. I think I'll go with OBS live stream. For me, OBS, like, I don't know if you can stream directly onto YouTube with OBS. I think you might have to use like a something like Restream because that's what I've done. Um, but actually, I guess you can. But honestly, Restream has a lot of perks that are outside of like the speed at which like you get comments in and stuff like that. I mean, I've used it for a long time. I still like it even with this delay. And it's not consistently this bad. Like, I guess it often is not great, but it's not always this level. I mean, to me, there's still so many perks over using things like StreamYard. Now I'm just getting into like the nooks and crannies of the parts of the heart that I couldn't get with the brush. Like, I think that OBS works really well for things like Twitch, and in my experience, it's worked pretty well when I wanted to do things with. Oh, hey, Lydia. Sorry. Um, uh, uh, when I went through Restream, um, it really depends on what you want to get out of your streaming experience and how fancy you want to get with it. If you want bare bones, I mean, just use YouTube. I don't think that you even need to go through um, having kind of that additional support. Something about painting is so my hand is shaking like a motherfucker. Where's Crystal been? I hope everything's good. Yeah, I mean Crystal's been just doing her own thing. I think that you know, I mean you definitely have to ask her for details if she wanted to talk about them. Crystal and I still hang out and talk. It's just, you know, I think that with Halloween, it kind of became like the Ian and Crystal show, which is I loved. Like this is not me complaining. I thought it was super fun. Um, but speaking personally, like just getting burnt the fuck out from doing as much as we did for Halloween, you know, it's been some needed time off to kind of recoup from that because oh my gosh, it just was it was intense. It was a lot of stuff that we did. Let's see. OBS is just streaming software, not a host. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. I was like, I don't know the word for it, but yeah, there it is. So would just stream through YouTube and use. Uh, Spoiled from the duo. I know. I know. I think I'm sure we'll get back to it. It's just oh my god, we just did so much. um, it was a lot. But yeah, I mean, I definitely got spoiled from the duo as well. I mean, there's something about um, streaming regularly with someone that you trust, uh, that you know you can show up on the day and just have fun and hang out and talk, and the flow of things is going to be fine. Um, that's something that I would say that I don't think I've ever experienced. And it takes a lot of pressure off of streaming, of the streaming aspect for sure. Like, could we just like hop on and like know that it was going to work no matter what? Yes, and that was really nice. Um, but the pattern writing, the knowing that we had to show up at a certain time, and like I've never really had scheduled, consistently scheduled lives and pattern releases or anything like that. So that's really where it got me. But I'm sure we'll be back in due time. I've had a couple ideas that I was playing around with for the you know, this time of year. And hey Bridget, welcome in. Sorry if I missed anybody. It's so hard to keep track of the chat this on this side for me. I hate it. I hate it so much. Great vibe. Funny time for sure. Oh yeah, and it was fun. I'm glad that you all felt like it was a good time because it was definitely it's probably the most fun I've ever had on YouTube. If I'm being honest, it's probably the most fun. It just consistently was a good time. It felt like it just felt like big happy family time all the time, and I loved it. So I'm hoping we can do something similar to that. And you know, I did hear some feedback that people, you know, thought that it would be fun to do something like that, and they'd like to be part of it if we do something like that in the future. So if you're one of those people who really liked uh, who really liked Halloween and liked the kind of projects and things that we were doing, um, feel free to reach out. Because those types of ideas come up, and you know, I'm always looking for someone to buy into my bullshit, you know. And so if that seems like fun to you, you know, the more the merrier. I'm sure it would be easier on Crystal that it was not just her that has to hear like all like 11 million of my ideas every day. If you think you've seen how bad my ADHD gets, oh, I will show you what. But it's fun. You know, hopefully it creates things that are fun for you all as well. And yes, 11 million is a number. Look it up. Just kidding. Plug in your keyboard. Yeah, I will always value a real keyboard over anything else. It's so much better. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the kind of main part of the heart. I don't know what that fucking throat thing was. That was weird. Using stupid iPad, so 6 months. Maybe I use. Yeah, I'm sure it's just like riding a bike. Oh, I love it. I love a real keyboard. It's just the space that it takes is not really practical for me, but okay. So I got another fucking cat hair. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take this time to start adding red. I really don't know what I'm doing. I used to be like halfway decent at watercolor. Like I did it enough to kind of know that like, hey, if you do this, this will happen. But now I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, didn't even know that this was going to be this particular color when I picked it up and placed it down. But now I'm committed to the bit, so. But yeah, I guess my ideas surrounding continuing a Halloween like project would be and I'm going over these to kind of blend in where the red and blue meet, hopefully. So my idea would be to, you know, still keep that kind of collaborative idea and like play that we had for Halloween. I think that was the kind of like best part of it. Another part that I really liked was the accountability of getting your projects done when you sorry, your projects done when you say you would, because if I can push things off and not do them, I'm going to. You know me. And and so that was really nice for Halloween. So um I I really liked that and would like to keep that on. Um but I think Halloween, um the things that we went in expecting to be really good or like work about it, some of them did work and some of them worked better than we thought. And some of them were just kind of, I wouldn't say that they were failures, they were just kind of like learning um, points uh, for us. And that was really good to have as well. I think that um, we did I mean, going live and having the lives, I think having those pretty regularly was nice, um, and I think that, but I don't think that they were actually a part of the pattern releasing that we expected. I think we expected a lot more. Like, okay, we'll release the pattern at 6 a.m. this time, and then at 7 p.m., we're going to have this live, and people are going to ask us questions about the patterns and stuff like that. And that's not what happened at all. And it's not that that's a bad thing. It's just that, like, okay, well, like, now we can reset our expectations to be a little bit more like what people will actually do, and you know, and that's fine because for some people, Halloween was literally just us going live every week, and that's cool. And then for some people, it would be like, okay, patterns are going to be released, and this looks like a dead heart. There's so much blue in it. um, but yeah, for some people, it was just like, okay, but like there's okay, what's the opposite of blue? Orange? Okay. Pick up some orange. So, it it's helpful to kind of know what to expect, and I think that we expected a lot more people to be working on the projects that we released in real time when, you know, that wasn't really a realistic expectation of what happened. And it's fine. It's totally fine. It was a good thing to learn. So orange. I mean, so blue. So I'm just going to place the color, and then I'm going to get my brush wet and then use the water to kind of distribute the pigment around. Um, I think that, the ideas that have come up since Halloween have been also, well, like, what if we like released a a book or like a collection of patterns instead of you know, just kind of these one-off um, these kind of one-off patterns that, you know, may or may not relate to each other. What if we had like themes where like if we had a theme, you know, and we could all kind of work around it. And I think a big part of that for me was kind of seeing how successful and how fun it was to do the Star Trek patterns. I mean, granted, I did what is undeniably the smallest of the patterns, which was the insignia. But watching, you know, Crystal be able to make the sweater and then the ears, that was so cool. So to be able to have all of that um, together and in kind of like a neat little package, that was so cool. It was so cool. And then like even potentially bringing it to a point of like, what if we had this book or this series of patterns, and what if we did like something for charity or something like that? Like that's been a big focus of ours as well. So it's something that we've talked about, but you know, is you know sometimes things take a little bit to get off the ground, and and maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's not. Ooh, I'm really liking where this is right now. It's like fairly orange, so I think I might need to dial back the orange just like a teeny bit. But I like where it's going, especially if I'm gonna have like a very orange-ish background. I probably do want to have it be more on that side, but it being too blue would also look a little dead. And granted, it's a heart outside of a body, so it's not gonna look super lively for long. Uh, but you know, those are semantics, right? So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start working on the leaves in the background, and I'm gonna start with this kind of like yellow ochre color. This brush is not doing a great job at holding any amount of water, which I find quite rude, but okay, whatever. Oh, sorry, I looked down at like everything. Let's see. Do drawings and makeup at the same time. Yeah, there's actually there's these things called face charts. They were big. You know, people have done them for a long time, but they kind of became really popular because of MAC Cosmetics. And so to it would be something that when you went and got your makeup done at MAC, if you wanted, they could do a face chart for you where it kind of told you how to do your makeup, like step by step, and they would tell you the products that you used. So face charts have been something that people have enjoyed and used for quite a while. I don't see people using them or them as much anymore. Um, but they definitely have been something. I think the reason that they felt a little bit, I don't know if like out of fashion is like the way to say it, but I think the thing is that sometimes certain parts about makeup can be difficult to um, kind of get from a face chart um, because they it's 2D versus 3D. I guess is pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, you had a great idea. It's just a couple decades late. Yeah, hard to contour a face. Sure. Yeah, I mean you can place it, but still a little bit hard. It's still very cool. It's still cool to see people who are really good at face charts. Um, it's very cool because you can really kind of grasp how it looks in a 3D manner. If that makes any sense. Sometimes it's hard to apply watercolor like it's meant to be applied because you can get like too much on your brush and then it's too opaque and it just kind of looks weird. It's been a weird so I've been out of my ADHD meds since before my surgery. So like before like so I kind of ran out in like early middle of October, and I it means that like the ADHD like rapid fire brain is like back in full force, but I like don't know what to do with all that energy. Just like, oh my goodness, it's a lot. So getting back into something like what we did for Halloween would be really nice, if people wanted to participate in that. And I think also like I think that me talking about it and then also um, seeing what you all got to see from what we did with Halloween, if it seems like um, if it seems like it might be too much, if you're like kind of interested in the ideas, but you're like, I don't know, it's a lot. Um, even just kind of like starting to check it out of like what we could do could be fun. Because like you never have to like fully commit to like anything, and even if you like get into it and you're like, oh gosh, this is way more than I expected it to be, like you can still. I'm never gonna like no one's gonna force you to do anything. But I guess like what I'm trying to say is like I there's a lot of the parts of Halloween that I could look at and be like, I can definitely see how I would not want to commit because it's a lot, but I'm so glad that I committed to doing what I did do. And there were times where I did straight up overcommit, and I just was like, you know what? I don't fucking care. And I just didn't do things, and I just talked to Crystal about it. And Crystal obviously is, really cool and understanding, but it just was more about the projects that we could do that we felt good about, and less about like making ourselves like just absolutely fucking miserable. Because like at some points it was just like, oh, this is too much, and like we could talk to each other and be like, you know what, no, it's not worth it, like losing your sanity um to do projects. Like it's just crochet. It's like we were able to like keep each other from going off the deep end basically by keeping things in perspective. But it did kind of turn into like a really cool like I don't want to say boot camp, but like I don't know. It was really cool. I really liked Halloween. I was really happy to have done it. Um, I was happy. Like honestly, it made Crystal and I closer. I think we kind of trauma bonded a little bit. Um, and then my cat is eating Butterfinger, not the chocolate part. Eating Butterfinger. Interesting. Probably not great for your cat, but I mean, there's some cats who can literally eat anything. Cats, dogs that can just eat anything. Like nothing holds them back. Scotty's one of those cats who like barely likes anything. I've never in my whole life had an animal who is not food motivated, and he just does not give a shit. He just like he doesn't care. You try to give him treats, he doesn't like them. What is that about? Hey Zach, welcome in. She likes nuts. Okay, I don't like nuts. You didn't ask me, but I'm just letting you know because I feel the obligation to let everyone know when they come up that I don't like them. Use my finger as an eraser really quickly and just undo. Pretty painting. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am hoping it comes together. I don't think I showed the final inking of my little ghost and pumpkin scene that I made. Um, did the same thing. It's natural, I think, especially liver. What's natural, especially liver? I'm so confused. Oh, if you don't like something? Yeah. And it's very easy to not like liver. I am not a fan. It's not the worst thing I've ever eaten, but it's definitely not something I would eat by choice. I know a lot of people hate it more than I do, but I don't like it. Granted, I've only had it, I think, like once, like a pate. But if you're eating liver pate, like you have a selection of food that you can eat. Like you're not beholden to eat liver pate. That's right. That's a purely expensive thing. It's not like a. Oh, I guess there's like cat food. You eat cat food as a human. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Before I um before I found out that I had RFID, it was really difficult to constantly like say like I don't like this food and like have to explain myself. And it's so much easier now because I have the words to describe the experience, to not have to feel embarrassed about like saying I don't like things like that. Like, because, like, yes, I don't like nuts, but I also don't, it's like the list of things I don't like is pretty long. And I felt like I always got labeled as a picky eater. And when you feel like you're like, I'm willing to try anything, but there's just a lot of stuff that I don't like, it feels pretty insulting to be reduced to someone who like just doesn't want to. It's like it's not that I don't want to. It's actually a huge inconvenience. I just can't do it. And so learning about ARFID and that even though the diagnosis itself was just a fucking pain. Um, like honestly, like that it went from honestly, like that diagnosis is like probably one of the most like life changing diagnoses I've gotten. Um, that and obviously like the big the big diagnoses of like getting like five at once when I got my bipolar diagnosis, but um, because like I went from being able like the minute you are moved over from does not have an eating disorder to has an eating disorder, everything changes. Everyone around you changes in how they talk about food and all of these things, and it really fucking sucks. And I mean, granted, it's in some ways it's better, but in a lot of ways it makes it worse as well. And I really didn't know. I just wasn't prepared to be kind of called out as someone who has an eating disorder because I didn't know that the one existed. Oh, does it? See, the reason why sometimes when you all say that Restream is going slow is that I'm getting Restream like on the back end. I'm getting the comments from Restream at the same time pretty much that YouTube is. So that's why I'm like, is it though? Like not that I like am like doubting you or anything, but like it doesn't it's on my end it's not slow. Um and on the back end of Restream, I see the comments before they go on the stream itself. So maybe that's part of it too. Maybe they do that for a reason so that you have time to put like if there are comments that you don't want, you have a couple seconds to remove them before they get put on your stream. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but If we feel like they are talking about something and praising it, and we don't speak up, they might give us some. That's a good point. That's a good point. I think that, like, yeah, I mean, I think that I wonder if that's what it is in my brain. I think for mine, because a lot of them are things that people don't, quote unquote, like normally dislike. It's like I um I say it because like I'm so used to like having to repeat it a lot for anytime people might make me food, like my family, like my ex's family, I have to say it so frequently that it's kind of like if someone's like nuts, I'm like automatically like I don't like nuts, so like they don't put it in anything. So maybe yeah, you're right. You know what you say too. Mm. Hmm. It feels very weird to be doing this painting and not have it taped down. I hardly ever do a watercolor painting without my edges taped down. Uh, it just it helps a lot with the warping of warping. What's that? What was that? Um, with the warping of the paper. Warping. I don't remember what color this part is. I feel like it's like a pink. In like the picture that I looked at, I feel like it's like a pink color. I guess it does not make sense, or I guess it doesn't make sense that this is like the colors that it would be like in the body attached to everything with blood flowing through it, right? Like that doesn't make sense. But like we're suspending reality a little bit, right? I mean a lot. Because like who would put a fucking human heart on like a bed of leaves? But whatever. So I'm gonna go around and take some of this color and put like a pretty thin layer on most of the other sections just so they can have like a little bit of this color built up. I guess for me it's just going to be kind of a layering process. Warp speed. It's on paper anyway. Yeah, so watercolor paper comes in different weights. And so the heavier the paper, the less likely it is to move. So this is 140 pound, which is it's cheap, decent watercolor paper, um, and you can get all different types to have it warp less. It's just more expensive. Am I saying warp really fucking weird? Warp. Warp. Warp speed. What's wrong with me? We don't have enough time for all that. Okay, we're just continuing to kind of take this color all over the page in a thin layer. Just like placing it on the edge of my bowl so I can water it down. Womp. Makes it fun. So I really can't believe that we're coming up on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be here in LA for next week, and I did promise Crystal that I was gonna try to make a little turkey hat for Scotty, so I did get the yarn for that, and I'm gonna try to make that for him, and then I guess I'm gonna maybe try to do some. I haven't. So I've. If you watch my video where I did the Hirschner's haul, I I got this brown, just like regular, like it was the worsted weight, the Hirschner's worsted yarn, and I was like, I didn't remember what I got it for, but I was looking through my phone because I have, I moved. I will either write things down on a paper list or I will um, put things on my notes app on my phone, and I realized it was on my phone, and what I got the brown yarn for was to do a coffee themed mosaic bag. Did you see the turkey beanie Sunita made? At first I read Santa and I was like, Santa made a what? No, I didn't yet. Oh, I gotta check that out. It might give me some inspo. Is it like full on turkey, like legs on the side? Because that's what Crystal had in mind. So I gotta make Scotty one of those. Really, there's a lot of Scotty hats that I haven't made yet, mostly because it's very easy to make something for Scotty, but everything I've made for Scotty, I've wanted to make in multiple sizes so that I could write a pattern that would fit other people's animals. And sizing is something that is really intimidating and painful for me. So it's funny. It's short. Anyway, okay, I'll definitely have to check that out. Thanks for recommending that. My paper started to dry up a little bit. So I'm going to take some of this water. Just going to pat it around to re-moist. Moist. Bing, 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 bing. Scotty's just so cute in hats and clothing and stuff. I meant to make it sooner, but it's just the month has just been flying by. I feel like I've been in this, like, I don't even know. Like it's so weird to that Halloween is over. I'm still not over that emotionally, but just because we prepped for so long for Halloween, and then I feel like aimless since then. But in a like, it's not a bad way. Just like creative. Hey everyone, sorry about that. Yeah, my phone died. I literally had my phone charger like 2 inches away from my phone because that was gonna be one of the last things I did before I started painting, and I didn't do it apparently, and my phone just really died. Uh, wasn't but I think that's a fun place to end it. Thank you for sticking with me. I'll keep you updated on the progress. And yep, sorry.